So Dr. Umar went on a podcast, okay, with Loon. They're talking about the Bad Bunny performance at the Super Bowl. This is very interesting. I watched like maybe half of this interview, and I had no plans on doing a video about it. But as I watched it, I said, it's like Dr. Umar just can't help trying to attack black folks. You know what I mean? It's just astonishing. You know what I mean? And you'll see, you guys gonna see what I'm talking about. I'm gonna hit play here. Purpose of this video is not to attack Dr. Umar. It's to show the scam that he's doing, but not just the scam that he's doing. It's not about FDMG Academy, nothing like that. It's about what I've been saying for some time. I think Dr. Umar is some type of FBI plan. All right, we're gonna hit play here. You see what I'm talking about? Let's go.
The Super Bowl performance in particular also has some black people online in an uproar, and I think
what were they saying? The black people, what was their problem?
Some people saying that it's an American sport, and you have someone speaking a language that Americans cannot understand. It's not our first language. So they're saying that why would an American sport have, I think it was the same point you make about Eminem. When you say that Eminem shouldn't be allowed to come in hip hop and be put on the grand stage, they're saying the same thing about Bad Bunny, saying that he shouldn't.
I'm going to disagree with him.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'm going to disagree
remember your
with
position
them.
about
Absolutely.
Eminem. Okay.
And I don't think the two are comparable.
Okay.
Eminem.
So based on what this guy's saying, Dr. Umar said Eminem shouldn't be able to just come in and like grip up rap, because some people consider Eminem to be the greatest rapper of all time. Okay, if you don't know that, there are people that do consider that Eminem is a very good lyricist for sure, but there are a lot of people that think he's the best rapper, and basically Dr. Umar is offended by that. That's what he says. But watch how he switches around like a variety of times here.
Participating in a
saying that he shouldn't
disagree with him.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'm going to disagree
remember your
with
position
them.
about
Absolutely.
Eminem. Okay.
And I don't think the two are comparable.
Okay.
Eminem is participating in a cultural art form created by African people. He's a visitor in the house, right? Bad Bunny, again, who I never heard of until the Super Bowl.
Yes.
He's not a visitor in the house because the house is stolen property. You cannot.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you want to say that about Bad Bunny, you can say the same thing with Eminem, because isn't his country stolen property? What he's saying is that the USA is stolen property. Okay, well, Bad Bunny is coming here. He's still stolen property. It's the exact same thing. All right, the reason why I'm doing this video is to show you guys how Dr. Umar does not really, and not just about Dr. Umar. It's about people like him. There are people online like Dr. Umar, though they may not be seemingly pro-black or pan-African as he calls himself. Okay, he calls himself the Prince of Pan-Africanism. All right, and he's going to say a lot of stuff in this video is going to probably have your head spinning. You'll see what I'm talking about. All right, as always. All right, but I'm saying to say, it's as if he's a fictional character. Like, he has no real opinion in the matter. Like, this is what I say about Trump all the time. I'll say Donald Trump really doesn't have an opinion, a hard opinion in politics. His opinion is what's going to pay me. You understand? How am I going to get paid? How can we control the stock market at the end of the day? Manipulate the stock market so that me and my buddies can get this money. He has no real political opinion. Before he was pro-abortion, he's against abortion. You know what I mean? He was a Democrat, and then he went Republican when he wasn't elected. You understand what I'm saying? And the same thing with Umar here, in the sense that Umar's opinions are, in my opinion, his opinions are whatever are against black folks. Okay, I guarantee you, if that guy Loon said that black folks said the opposite, Umar would have said the opposite of what black folks said. All right, let me hit play here.
Dictate how somebody behaves in a home you don't own. If Loon breaks into a mansion down the street and I come and stay with Loon, and Loon start telling me I gotta pay rent, I'm telling Loon, pay rent to you for what? You don't even own the house. So how can you dictate Bad Bunny's behavior at the Super Bowl because you claim it's un-American, when this country is un-American because it was not your property, you stole it. So if anything, go to the Native Americans and go to the Native Africans and ask them if they had a problem with what Bad Bunny did. But you can't go to the white man and say, did you have a problem with Bad Bunny's performance? Because the white man has no entitlement, no right whatsoever.
Now, if this was a debate, Dr. Umar had a bunch of problems here, okay? If I was, for example, interviewing him, and if I seriously was interviewing Dr. Umar, I would say, I didn't bring up the white man. I said people, and I was talking about even black folks. Why are you changing to the white man? He's doing it. He's trying to change the actual question. All right. He's supposed to be a great black mind. and the greatest, the most requested black scholar. This is debate 101. Debate 101 is stay on topic, answer the question, and don't veer off subject. And that's what he's doing to an unbelievable degree. Because people come to my videos. They come to my videos. Sometimes when I put up Umar videos, actually I had a whole video. Actually, I put up some videos back just where people were attacking me who were Umar fans. All right. And you think this man is serious, but even from this small interview right here, from this podcast, is up their podcast, all right, where this is coming from, I can easily break down how Umar, he cannot debate, all right. That's why you never see him debating people who he will call his detractors. He would never debate me or anybody else, okay, online, because his whole his whole personality is fake, all right. And that's why I'm explaining to you real quickly how he's jumping around here trying to change stuff. Let's hit play though.
How people behave in a country he stole.
Right.
But it sounds right. People look at this and say, oh, well, it sounds right because he's so emotional. Oh, you would say, well, stolen. So he's making you feel that way. He's pushing you emotionally that way. Only problem is that's not what they were really talking about. All right. Because the guy said, well, you said this about Eminem. All right. Eminem was basically appropriating our culture. And now this guy's coming in and doing this on the same stage where Whitney other people came, and this guy doesn't even speak English, all right, at all. He didn't even think to speak a lick of English in front of an event knowing that it was all English, okay? Some people could see that as disrespectful, all right? And he's like, well, well, at the end of the day, we can't blame him. And I believe it's simply because he's making his argument simply because he heard the stance that the guy brought up that some black people may have said. He doesn't like, he has to be always against black folks, okay?
In addition to that, Bad Bunny is Puerto Rican. Puerto Ricans are citizens of America. The United States will be 250 years old on July the 4th, Loon. And guess what? The United States has never had an official language until Donald Trump recently signed an executive order clarifying English as the national language of America.
Right.
So if he's speaking Spanish at the Super Bowl, why is it a problem if this country doesn't have an official language? Right? I'm going to be honest with you. My respect for the man, and I don't even know him, it went through the roof. Because I saw a Latino artist put Latino people on the map.
Some of y'all thinking to yourselves, if y'all watch Umar enough, you probably thinking yourself at this point, he's trying to get a Latino queen. He trying to get a Latino queen. Well, that's good. And also I want to say is think about the last time you've seen Dr. Umar talk about a black person really doing something, okay? And him saying, my respect for him has went through the roof. Outside of, his so-called blood relative, Frederick Douglass, which is not his blood relative, or you don't really see Dr. Umar giving great accolades for blacks like that. Let's go.
Mainstay.
On the biggest stage.
Yes.
In a way I've never seen a black artist ever do. For black people.
What do you think about Kendrick's last Super Bowl performance?
I thought Kendrick's performance was good, but in no way, shape, form, or fashion.
You didn't see any black symbolism in that? I think his whole push was trying. Okay.
He did not highlight no artists. The closest one I'm going to give is Beyonce, where she highlighted the Black Panther Party.
So you see right here, he's taking Kendrick Lamar. Now I did see most of the Kendrick Lamar what you call it, halftime show. All right. Now, I don't listen to none of that rap. All right. I did watch some of it because I think I did see that. But I don't know if that was the Super Bowl, the Eagles were. I can't remember. But anyway, end of the day, I did see a lot of that. All right. And that was a very political one. And look how Dr. Umar quickly puts Kendrick down. Okay. And then Bad Bunny. Now, I'm not saying that you're wrong for liking Bad Bunny over Kendrick Lamar's performance. I mean, I don't know. If you like that kind of music more, then there's nothing wrong with that. That's just a matter of opinion at the end of the day. Okay. But with Dr. Umar, you see how quickly he's saying, now the Kendrick did a lot in that joint to highlight their black issues. But you say that Umar doesn't, he's not concerned about any of that stuff, is he? No. Now I haven't seen the Bad Bunny performance, but I don't know if the Bad Bunny highlight a lot of black issues and try to bring attention to them in his performance. Okay, I doubt he did, and he is not really required to because he's not black. He's Puerto Rican, all right? And even if you are, but you're not required to, you can do it if you want to. At the end of the day, that's obvious, all right? But the fact that and I gotta say this because I've oftentimes said, I think he's somehow a government plan. I think that Dr. Umar made some kind of deal, and that's why he's never been arrested before. He should have been arrested a long time ago. All right. Think about it. The FBI in the USA, they love trying to find scammers, especially, in my opinion, people that are on a lower level, all right, to rest, all right. But then the people who the big wigs, they like the stuff that's going on Epstein files, they seem to not have the ability to catch those folks, all right. Somebody like Umar, they should have been had this guy, all right. But I made a video just recently saying, look, the donors can have the power now to actually strip FDMG from Dr. Umar, which they really actually do. They literally come to court and say, look, you took our money, we invested in you. It basically was a Ponzi scheme which you ran. You used our money for something else. It's like a Ponzi scheme. End of the day, we wanted to take the school from you. All right. And they could actually do that and get the school right now if they wanted to. They go to court and with that narrative alone, they could actually take the school from Umar. Umar cannot prove that he put their money fully into the school. In order to prove over the past some years that he's really ready for school to open, because it's not ready to open. All right. And I'm saying that right now because the FBI for some reason still, I'm an outside looking in, a YouTubian struggle streamer, as he would call me. But I can see these things. How can't the FBI see this? All right. Why wouldn't they see this? And the reason is, and not just him, it's other black scammers, okay, that are online. People talking about this guy, Jay Morrison, other people. The FBI just seems to have a hard time catching. I wonder why. I wonder why. Dr. Umar's not the only black scammer, all right? His affinity scam is for the conscious community. That's all that it is. Jay Morrison and other people, they had scams to scam, to extract money from the black community. I think in his scam, he was trying to say, look, we're going to build something like the Black Wall Street, okay? They burned it down. We're going to make something like that and even better. It was just a scam. Dr. Umar says, look, we're going to build up an amazing school like you've never seen. It's just a scam. But FBI never seems to catch him. That's why I believe that he has some kind of FBI deal. And another reason why I believe he has an FBI deal is because he's always on topic. What is the topic? Attack black folks. What did you say? What's the opinion of black folks, Loon? Okay, I go the opposite. I want to make sure I go the opposite of whatever it is, because that's what I paid to do. I paid to be the opposite of them. I have to be this way so I can stay free. Okay.
I'm going to put Beyonce over.
She shook that
because it was clear cut what she was doing, right? Bad Bunny, though, Loon, he highlighted every.
It wasn't clear cut what Kendrick Lamar was trying to talk about, but it's clear cut what Beyonce was doing.
Aspect of
she shook that
because it was clear cut what she was doing, right? Bad Bunny, though, Loon, he highlighted every aspect of Latino culture, from the grass they grow to the farm. He even had a Latino couple get married right there at the Super Bowl.
Right.
Talk about some Latino on Latino love, saving the Latino family. Look what he did. He had them playing cards. He had them drinking. He had the music. He had the love. He had the family. Every aspect of Latino culture he promoted, and then he hit you with the pan-Latinoism, as I would hit you with the pan-Africanism. He started shouting out all the Latino countries.
Yeah.
In other words, this ain't just about Puerto Rico. I'm going to go with the whole Latino movement. You see that?
Right.
So that was pan-Africanism. But
see, what I'm trying to show you guys from this video is that it's not that Dr. Umar just happens to like Bad Bunny. I didn't know who the guy was, all right, before he even performed. It's that Dr. Umar, his job is to attack black folks. His job is to be a sleeper agent. Seriously, in my opinion, his job is to be a sleeper agent against black people. All right. People talk about these Epstein files and all that stuff is unbelievably terrible. But I believe there are files you can find on people like Dr. Umar, and I believe they really are agents. They actually are agents that are paid to do things to tear black people down. All right. And they know this. All right, I'm telling you, and I watched Dr. Umar for some time to see how see how he reacts to things. I react to how he reacts. I don't react as he reacts, but I react to how he reacts. You understand what I'm saying? And I watch and I'm like, it's interesting that you would have that take. It's interesting you would have that take. It's like years ago I used to watch Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless. All right, and this entertainment show at the end of the day, they're supposed to be real, but sometimes I could tell that they would have opposite takes on things sometimes, simply because they went in controversy. You would see Steve would come on and start talking, and then maybe he would say, and then maybe Skip say, no, you go first. They say, you go first. And sometimes Steve would want him to go first. And Steve would listen to what, it'll be something that was clear cut, like what opinion you should take on something that happened in sports, whatever. And I would see Steve sometimes listen to what Skip would say, and then just take the opposite stance, knowing good and well that's not really what he felt. But he just had to take the opposite stance because he wanted to have more controversy in that show when he had Skip. Okay. And I was like, it's just a sports show. It's not like it's not serious, but I could clearly see that happening. But I clearly saw it happen more than a few times. But Dr. Umar, it's like he's on his whole life is a show. You understand what I'm saying? And he's employed by the U.S. government or some kind of other. I believe about the U.S. government at the end of the day, but maybe from some other group that's I don't know, maybe some type of secret society. But at the end of the day, I believe that's where the money is coming from. All right, and then he's employed by them.
Flipped into Latinoism. You follow Pan?
Also, gotta say is think about it. You have people like Dr. Umar. You have people that like the guy who Jay Morrison. People that are saying, "Look, we're going to start this. We're going to start that." And there are a lot of other folks. Okay, there's a guy who people have said is a scammer. It's the guy's name. The guy who lost a lot of weight. He was like one weight and then he lost. I think he had some type of surgery. He can lose weight. Bandman Kevo. Okay, Bandman Kevo. Who I think he said that some years ago he used to be an actual scammer. Isn't it crazy too? A lot of these people that are supposed to be our stars, like people say, oh. People actually think, for example, that Dr. Umar is like a modern day Malcolm X, seriously, or Martin Luther King. That's how a lot of youth look at Dr. Umar. You know, some people in my comments all the time say, "Why do you keep calling him doctor?" Well, it's because that's his title. I call him that out of respect, even though he doesn't really deserve it. But everybody deserves at least the respect of being called by their name, okay, at the very least. But also because it makes him seem like he's Dr. King. That's why he likes that doctor behind his name. You know, it makes him appear like one of the greats. So he's always mentioning Frederick Douglass, okay. Because he's trying to say, I'm like one of them. That's why he says, my great uncle or cousin, whatever he said that like this the other day, you know, Valentine's Day, you know, it's a reason why. But I'm trying to help you guys understand the bigger picture here. It's not just about Umar, but these different people that are placed. Whether you got Umar, you have the guy who was over the Tulsa real estate fund, or they ended up being who ended up extracting money from that and scamming. These different people, and there are many others. All right, there are many others. They have these different things. You may say, well, at the end of the day, these people are just scammers, buddy. It's not that it's a big plot. There's no evidence to prove that. I would say that it is evidence to prove that. One, these men are committing open crimes. All right, they're committing open crimes, yet for some reason that the government never, or the FBI never investigates them, never touches them. All right, even though they're doing it online. But you know who they do touch? They do touch drug dealers. They do touch all these other folks. They're doing stuff that's hard to see, but they can always find them. But they can't find these guys. And the reason why they can't find them is because they're paid by them, or they don't, and also because they don't want to find them because they don't want to stop them because they're working their agenda. That's why. All right, that's why. And if you go back into the times of the 50s and 60s, it was the same thing. There are people that were plugged in. Like there's a movie out called Judas and the Black Messiah, which talks about how they had a guy plugged in who helped the guys. I forget the guy's name. I forget the man's name. I think his first name was Fred, who helped this man basically be assassinated. Okay, and there's a guy with him who was like a Judas, and this guy was working to help black people's lives. I think he was a Black Panther. And I'm saying I see the movie in a minute, okay, but that's something I don't know. I'm not gonna seriously. I'm an expert on that man's case like other people are. But I would say from watching the film, if I'm looking at some history, I could clearly see this man, the guy who. And I've also seen some interviews of the guy who actually was the Judas. You know, I forget the guy's name. Okay, but the guy basically said, "Look, I was paid to do this. It was either that or be locked up." You know what I mean? But no one knew that man, okay, had that deal. Looking at Umar, it's the exact same thing. But it said, and lets you know from even something like that movie. If you ever seen the movie Judas and Black Messiah, check it out. It's a very good movie. Very good movie. Okay, even if you have to pay to rent that movie. All right, but anyway. I like how the guy, you can go online and see the guy who basically betrayed him. You can look at his interviews online because he made a few, and he basically was like, "Look, yeah, I was a Judas. I was like Uncle Tom. You know, that's what I really in the day. You know what I mean? He kind of explained stuff, you know. And I look at Dr. Umar. He's a modern day version, but instead of him plugging himself in that way, because we have the internet. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is really true, in my opinion. Okay, because we have the internet, all this kind of stuff. The government would rather have somebody like Dr. Umar, all right, be there online to insert darkness, to insert lies, to stand against us, all right. Even somebody like Nicki Minaj, you know, I saw a video pop up before I play it real quick. I just want to say something. I saw a video pop up online which I didn't watch. Someone was saying, why is it that all the black? I saw the thumbnail and it said on YouTube and it said why do all the black stars that like careers are on the downturn, you know, on going down, they seem to all of a sudden all of a sudden just start supporting Trump. They're talking about Nicki Minaj and other people. You know what I mean? Maybe they have deals that the Trump campaign or whatever it could be. They're offering. You know what I mean? They say, hey, well, in the day, we can give you this money. We know that you need it. You know what I mean? We know you need it. It's just like Pam Bondi had the information on all of those folks who were grilling her. You know, but she had no information on the actual people that were doing these things to these women. She had no information or insight into that, but they had information on them people. So in the same way, the FBI is looking into these artists and other people to see if they can get some kind of compromise on them, to see if they can get some type of compromised information on them, so they can use them. It's like, in my opinion, use Dr. Umar. Let's go.
Latinoism. And so what he did, I almost felt embarrassed because I've rarely seen a black artist showcase black culture the way Bad Bunny unapologetically did. Latinoism. You follow Pan Latinoism. And so what he did, I almost felt embarrassed because I've rarely seen a black artist showcase black culture the way Bad.
Okay, so Kendrick Lamar can have people literally dressed up as American flag, do all kind of things to show history. All right. And then a Puerto Rican could come, and this is nothing against Bad Bunny also, because it's not his job to show black history. All right. Then Bad Bunny can come out, Puerto Rican can come and do songs about Puerto Rico. Shout out other nations, and it puts us to shame. that's how it equals out to Umar. In his mind, that's how it equals. But he's supposed to be so pro-black.
Bunny unapologetically did for his people.
Because it was, if nothing else, unapologetic.
Oh,
he
unapologetic.
didn't speak English. He didn't try to bring the English speaking artist on he didn't try to pander at all. He stood on his heritage, what they stand on, and he went for what he knew.
And he went hard.
Yes.
Now, we talked about the cultural. Let's talk about the political. Why did the Super Bowl?
Before we go there, because I think we're going to cook there. Before we go there, I think another reason, let's talk about if we could be upset in the same way we were upset about Eminem, because I still want to speak about that,
I think
right?
they're two different things.
I know you do, but I'm going to add another layer to it, which is Jay-Z is the person that is curating.
I don't think Jay-Z made that call.
100%.
I don't think Jay-Z made that
Rock
call.
Nation has the deal. They have the
they
deal.
got the deal, but
Well, it's going to be blamed on him whether or not he made the call or not.
we agree on that. You feel me? But if I'm Roger Goodell, you may be my entertainment
Oh,
person.
you
understand?
saying it? Yes.
But because you remember, Kendrick got backlash for calling Drake a PDF.
Yes. So you saying this is an NFL thing?
I
They
think
kind of
the
stepped
NFL
in and
said,
said we're going a different
"We're
route
going a
under
different
the
route this
umbrella
year."
of you. Yes.
Especially because you let him get up there and throw these innuendos at a Super Bowl.
And from a business perspective, appealing to the Latino community, which is an untapped market for the NFL.
Exactly. Now, the reason they went there, Trump just kidnapped the president of Venezuela. He got ICE agents all over America kidnapping Latinos of every ilk, deporting them. America looks real bad in Latin America right now. This was a propaganda stunt to improve America's image to the Latino people. Why? Because America has more to do in Latin America. Bad Bunny does not get that stage if the white power structure doesn't have plans for Latin America.
Wow. That's deep.
The underlay for the overplay. Watch how it comes.
He said the underlay for the overplay. My question is this, Dr. Umar, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Let's trace what he just said there. Bad Bunny performance is good. Kendrick Lamar, it's all right. Okay? Jay-Z is over the performances at the Super Bowl. They put him over, okay? His company, whatever, Rock Nation, to be able to do that. And that's a fact. All right, even this year. Dr. Umar says, yeah, well, that's the case because Jay-Z is black. But Dr. Umar has to get around that black issue. So, you know, I don't think it was a white man. I think the white man went over Jay-Z said, what evidence do you have it at the Super Bowl? Don't worry about that. Just believe it. I said, okay, gotcha. I believe you. All right. So we're going to forget about the black man. By the way, I don't think that Jay-Z is a man that has, in my opinion, has black people, black people's black interests in mind or at heart like some people think he does. All right. And I can talk about all kinds of, like, for instance, about him trying to put that casino, which black folks didn't want up, and he was just saying, I'm going to do it anyway. But it was struck down, all right, because he couldn't get the investors. But that's another thing I can say. But anyway, okay, so you go around Jay-Z. He says it's Roger Goodell. If you don't know, he's the guy who's over the NFL. All right. So, and Roger Goodell is white. All right. So basically, Umar is saying, let's go to the top. This is the tree was going spreading down. The power and the branches go down from Roger Goodell. They spread down around and away from Jay-Z's little grubby little hands and right into that, and right on Bad Bunny. I mean, they grabbed Bad Bunny from Latin America, so let's throw him over here. Based on what Dr. Umar just said, because you tried to pull a little stunt with Kendrick Lamar, like they didn't know that, like they did not hear the song. He acted as if Kendrick Lamar's song was not popping like number one all across America, and then everyone didn't know that what the song was talking about. Everyone didn't know what it was talking about. It was like he pulled the song, a surprise song out. Mainstream shows, okay, were talking about is Kendrick gonna come on out and talk about Drake? So what Dr. Umar is saying there is not true. All right. But you see, Dr. Umar is smart and slick. I should say slick, though both, in that he said, well, I ain't really know much about Bad Bunny. By him saying that, it's like saying, if I say something wrong here, I don't really know much about all this stuff. I mean, I know it to a degree, but what I do know. Make sure you believe that. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is this. Basically, what he's saying is, we've just heard, he's saying, look, the whole thing was about white folks trying to maybe set something up so they could get into Latin America more. All right. So at the end of the day, we should just believe that. So in a way, Umar's put himself almost in the middle. He's saying yay and no. He's saying yay and nay. He's saying yay that Bad Bunny was the best, and then nay that, but at the end of the day, it was for the white man, okay? And it's the white man's thing. But it's still, but at the bottom of it, it's just a hood thing. It was just, a minority thing. It's just minorities at the end of the day, Puerto Rican. But make sure they all was still from white men in the day. So we shouldn't have trusted. So he's yay and nay. You can't pin him to the wall, basically, is what he's trying to say, trying to do here, okay? Let's play here.
Now, by default, if we entertain that, by default, we're saying Jay-Z is controlled.
All black celebrities are controlled.
You don't
All
think
black celebrities
so?
are.
Jay-Z still hasn't broke the chains with his level of wealth. You can't tell me you're fighting your entire life to break these chains, and it's impossible to break them. You're on the same fight to break whatever chains that come. You're a celebrity now. I hope you know that.
By default.
Exactly.
I think Dr. Umar had he made a mistake there. I don't think that he intended to say that. All right. I think he forgot that he was on a podcast right there, because that's how he feels. All right. That is important, because both Martin Luther King, all right, and Malcolm X, though they had some different views, both of them preached, all right, that we can overcome and that there is a way. Though Malcolm X's way was by any means necessary, he said, the key word is means. Martin Luther King, okay, it's nonviolent way. Those are the means. Dr. Umar says there are no means. Okay, there are no means. Frederick Douglass, who he likes to compare himself to. Frederick Douglass fought and did a lot of things so we can have freedom, okay, by those means, okay? And he couldn't go through a violent route because of the position that he was in. All right, I'm not saying we should be violent. I'm just saying that he moves in the sphere and moves with the range that he had available to him. Frederick Douglass, I'm talking about. Okay, you look at Dr. Umar. He says, "Look, we can't win." All right, I think he made a mistake there. He didn't mean to say it, but he already said it. The cat was out the bag. And he said, "Look, no black actor, no black celebrity, it has full control." That's what he's saying. Though he loves to go in their shows and say he loves them so much and get airtime, but now he's saying, "Look, none of them have control." All right, and Loon probably said, "Look, well, you're a celebrity." And what does Dr. Umar say? Not by choice. Not by choice.
Not by
your entire life to break these chains, and it's impossible to break them. You're on the same fight to break whatever chains that come. You're a celebrity now. I hope you know that.
By default.
Dr. Umar's answer is there is no hope. Okay, we're supposed to believe he's supposed to instill hope into our black young boys at that school that he says he's going to open. Or even if Dr. Umar in the future says, I'm not going to open the school, and he lets it go, which I personally think he wants it to be let go, because at this point it's nothing more than a drag on him. It's something that could get him locked up, and he'd rather not have that school in front of him if he could. In my opinion, I think he would be happy if the school burned down. In actuality, if you hear about FDMG burning down, I think Dr. Umar has something to do with it. Okay? Seriously. But in his opinion, that may not be a good look, because if it burned down, some people in the community, if it got on fire, people in the community may try to stop it, or people will say if there's no fire insurance, they would say, well, ain't no fire insurance, okay, on the bill XYZ and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know if he really wants that to happen. I think he does want it to happen. I don't know if that's the best play for him in his mind. Okay, but trust me, he wants that school to be gone. I guarantee you that he wants that school to be off the map. All right, he wants that school. When he says the school is vandalized, all that kind of stuff, it's just to stretch it out. He was just school was off. He was just school did not exist. I guarantee you that. All right, because he has no intention of opening that school. But as we can see here, if the school somehow was open, what would he be teaching young black boys? You can't overcome. Let's come and sing at FDMG. We shall not overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I don't believe that I can overcome someday. Those are the lyrics to the song that he wants our young boys to be singing. He said, "There's no hope. You can't win." And he ain't said rhetoric like this for years. All right, and I always thought to myself, why are people paying attention to them? Don't you do the math when people talk? When somebody says 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you add that up. Okay, but if I say 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and you say, man, look what he said. He just said 0. Yeah, 0 equals 0. Even if you take 0 and add another 0, add another 0, even add another 0, it's still 0. It's nothing. If you add -5, now you're in the negatives. And everything that Umar is preaching puts you in the negatives. Why would you follow somebody that's going to put you down instead of up in a positive? I don't understand it.
Exactly. Fighting your entire life to break these chains, and it's impossible to break them. You're on the same fight to break whatever chains that come. You're a celebrity now. I hope you know that.
By default.
Exactly.
Not by intent.
It don't matter about.
No, it's a difference. You want to know why?
No,
Let me
sir.
tell you why there's a difference.
No, sir.
Let me tell you why there's
Go
a
ahead.
difference. Celebrities by intent. I want to be a rapper. I want to be an actor. I want to be a comedian. By intent. Your whole career was spent making deals with white people. I've never made a deal with a white person in my life. I am free as you can be on a plane.
Didn't this man go to Pecan, Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine? Is that a black college? No. So what you talking about? I never made a deal with a white person in my life. Yes, you did. You went to Pecan, Sea Line Avenue, Philadelphia. Okay. That's not a black school. What are you talking about? I'm just saying, actuality, what he's saying, even somebody said, well, that was a college he had to go to, which he didn't really have to, but he chose to go there. Okay. He didn't choose to go to only a black school. He went to a school that was white school. Let's just, he may say, well, that's school. You can't really get around that. It's just school. He needed the degree, whatever. Okay. Well, let's look at the fact that he's on these stations. He's, for example, what's the guy name? Charlemagne the God. He goes on the Breakfast Club oftentimes. Is Breakfast Club owned? All right, by black folks, and when it comes to the top ownership, no. But he's always on there, all right? So he's making deals with them all the time, with white folks, all right, when he's on these shows. He says, I deal directly with Charlemagne the God. No, you don't. No, you don't. Charlemagne the God and them, they don't own that. They're on a network. And I was on radio before myself, y'all. So I can tell you for sure. I was on radio years ago. I was on a Christian radio station. I can tell you right now that we had an actual show that came on. I think it was on. I think it was on Saturdays. All right, and there were a few people that had shows, and I have some friends that still have shows on this network. It was in Jersey. All right, and we would go to the network, and it was like a regular radio station. All right, we didn't own that. We had a show, but we didn't own the network. We didn't own none of that. We didn't own the building. All right, we didn't lock up the building. You understand what I'm saying? They had somebody working there, and we came there. We had a show, and we knew that white folks owned it at the end of the day. So what is he? He acts like, look, well, no, it's, I only deal black. No, you actually have it. I'm just saying in all actuality, in all fact here.
You understand? Jay-Z got contracts. Kendrick got contracts. Rihanna, Beyonce got contracts.
I need you to know that was the name of an album. Kanye.
What was it called?
As free as you can be on a plantation.
As free as you can, because I'm still on the plantation. I don't own this. But I'm as free as you can be. I have no agreement with no white person anywhere. And I get white people who contact me all the time. I can take you to the next level.
I do believe that he has white people contact him all the time. They call it the FBI. Umar, did you do what we said? Oh, I did what you said. Make sure that you pull black people down. Look. We want you to go on this podcast. What you want me to do? Of course, attack black folks. Okay, well, that's already settled. What else you want me to do? Well, you know the halftime show? Oh, yeah, with the guy. What's the guy? Bad Bunny? Yeah. We want you to make sure that you put Kendrick below him, okay? Make sure that if they bring, we're gonna make sure that he brings up a Kendrick, all right? When he does, make sure that you say Kendrick was okay, but Bad Bunny brought it all. He tore the house down. Bad Bunny. So I'm gonna do whatever y'all need me to do. I got you. Okay, good. Make sure you do that. We're not gonna touch you. We're gonna allow you to continue to scam your community. We're gonna allow you to continue to attract these black women that don't understand that you a scammer. We're gonna allow you to keep sleeping around. I think what's gonna come out one day is you're gonna find that Dr. Umar has been sleeping with some of these college women. These young college women. That's something you've never heard of before. No one ever talks about. I think that you see Umar hooked up with these young college girls, okay, that are just over 18 or maybe not 18. Like when I went to college, I was not 18. I was actually 16 when I went to college, okay? When I was a freshman in college, all right? So not everybody you see hooked up with Umar is actually 18 or above like you would think they are. But I think with some of them, Umar got with some of them women, okay? But I think the FBI doing all this, look, in the day, Umar, you keep doing your thing, and we gonna allow you to, we ain't gonna touch you. And to this day, for some reason, it's investigation, not to Umar. It's only an investigation because of what the donors brought to the forefront of the stuff that he was doing. But I guarantee you, the investigation is not going to yield what people think it's going to yield. All right, people think, they're going to stop him. If they wanted to stop, they would have done it a long time ago. But just like with the Epstein stuff, it's going to come, sad to say, to nothing.
People love you. I can do this for you. I can do this for you. I can't do it, Loon. Because the minute I sign with one of y'all, I'm no different than the rest of them.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got to be the exception. Am I perfect? No. But I'm the exception because I'm the only one who's known on that level who can say I have no contract with no Caucasian. You can't name me a comedian who can say it. You can't name me a rapper who can say it. You can't name me an actor, a dancer. Who can you name in the world of entertainment who can say I am not beholden to white people at all? I'm the only person I know.
You're the only one I can say with confidence that I have not seen take a white deal in any way.
In any way.
Yeah, and that's
in any way.
I don't tell lies.
Every time he goes on these podcasts that white people own when it comes to the station, or a lot of these folks actually own the podcast. For example, there's these guys, Gilly and Wallow, they have a podcast, okay? Now in the beginning it was just their podcast, but as it got bigger, they took a deal. Maybe if you remember, they used to have this guy on there, his name was Tony the Closer, okay? Now this guy Tony the Closer, it was Gilly, Wallow, and Tony the Closer. But when they got bigger, they took a deal. And Tony the Closer told folks, okay, I'm not trying to make fun of Gilly and Wallow like that at the end of the day, but I have to say this, that at the end of the day, they did take a deal to help their podcast get bigger. And I believe that based on what said, that Tony the Closer was pushed out of the podcast because they didn't want Tony, the white folks, whatever, the guys from that, I forget the name of that company that they be pushing a lot. But basically, they was like, look, we don't need 3 of y'all. We only need 2 of y'all. Okay. So, and Tony the Closer was upset because basically he was like, look, it sounded like he was saying, look, they didn't really let me know that. Like, Gillian Wallow didn't really let me know that. But I think that it seems like Gillian Wallow didn't want to push him out, but it's just that the big wigs said, he cannot come along, and they had no choice. And they were giving millions of dollars. Like, I think once they made that deal, they became like, if they weren't millionaires at that time, Gilly or Wallow, they were when that deal was signed. When that podcast, $1 million over game, grew in that way. It was because of their money, white money, whatever. But Dr. Umar, he's on all of those type of podcasts. He says I haven't taken a dollar from them. That's not true. That's simply not true. And those podcasts are how his name is grown. Okay.
Have a reason to, and niggas know I don't do no capping or nothing. But here's the thing. Let's get back to the Jay-Z conversation, because I think it's interesting that you're saying he's being used as a political shield. Now, you're not saying that outright.
Why did he get the contract? Jay-Z was brought to the NFL's table to deflect from the fact that they didn't want to give Colin Kaepernick his job back. Jay-Z knew he was being used as pass interference. He knew he was being used as pass interference. And if you remember, when he first came to the table, he got a lot of backlash from Black America. Remember? They got on him about that.
Yes.
So you're not going to do nothing about Kaepernick's job? No, he ain't going to do nothing about Kaepernick's job. And I'm not going to call him a sellout because I have to see what your Machiavellian play is. See,
is he selling out or buying in?
Exactly. I thought.
Isn't it funny how this should be an obvious slam dunk for Dr. Umar? Jay-Z did sell out his own people. Okay? He really did. I know somebody that told me that they were at an event where I think it was Justin Timberlake was performing. I think Jay-Z was there. I think it was for something with maybe in the Super Bowl or something like that. And they said basically it was at his football event around the time of the stuff with Colin Kaepernick. And this person said that there was somebody there. The person that told me the story was not them. It was them telling me the story of their friend. Okay. And they said that they saw Jay-Z and they were asking about why don't you do X, Y, Z? And Jay-Z said basically, look, it's over. I'm not concerned about that. All right. And I'm not concerned about, it came out that Jay-Z had basically said, we're past kneeling and all that kind of stuff. We passed all of that. He said something similar to the person. Okay. It was just like a one-on-one conversation. All right. He said, look, he basically told the woman, this is before it even came out that he said that we passed kneeling, where Jay-Z was like, look, I'm not, he said something that was really egregious. Actually, but I just can't remember what it was, but I heard this years ago. All right. But, yeah, that's what Jay-Z is about. All right. I don't know how folks can have seen it already. All right. But a lot of people still think that every accusation against Jay-Z is false and he's just a sweetie pie. And that's really not the case at all. All right. I believe that, of course, he had that young man from Philadelphia. He impregnated that young man's mother, took her to Brooklyn or Harlem somewhere. He took her to, got her pregnant, which the story says. Then she mysteriously died. The guy, I think his name was Ramirez, something like that. His mom mysteriously died sometime later. All right. And Jay-Z said, I'm not the dad and all kinds of stuff, even though the kid Ramirez looked just like Jay-Z, looked literally like a spit image of Jay-Z. That's the caliber of man he is. Dr. Umar sitting here could easily say, and he even said, look, Jay-Z was plugged in there to push off fire for the fact that the NFL did what they did with Colin Kaepernick. Okay. And that Dr. Umar was right. So then I like how Loon says, okay, well, will you then, say, make a clear cut decision on that? Because at the end of the day, Dr. Umar is making a case that it's bad because a black man, all right, took a deal from a white guy. So that should be a slam dunk, because Dr. Umar is continually saying, don't take those white people. And what does Dr. Umar say? He says, well, I don't know what kind of play he was playing. All right. See what I mean when I say what is Dr. Umar's opinion? His real opinion in his heart is, I'm going to take any deal with white people I need to take. Mind you, he's an actor, okay? He's an actor. Everything he does is an act. In his heart, he will take it. He's already taken those white folks. But as he acts in front of you, oh, I don't take no money from white people. I just explained to you, that's simply, it could not be the case. All right, that's a lie. Both ways lie, all right? Let's continue.
Hoping Jay would say, a lot, because I have to see what your Machiavellian play is. See,
is he selling out or buying in?
Exactly. I thought.
No, he's asking you a question. Is he selling out or buying in? See how he has to go around it? Exactly. No, it's a yes or no question. Is he selling out or is he buying in? Exactly. And he does it so smooth. And these podcasters, they let Umar get away with everything. Let my man get away with everything. He asks him a yes or no question. Is he selling out or buying in? Based on the argument that you create here. And he says, and he gets away with exactly.
He ain't going to do nothing about Kaepernick's job. And I'm not going to call him a sellout, because I have to see what your Machiavellian play is. See,
is he selling out or buying in?
Exactly. I thought, hoping Jay would say, let me buy a team and let's give an NFL team its first majority black owner, because none of them have that. Maybe that still is his play.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's probably the play.
Sometimes I got to wait to see a long game. Right. But so far, I haven't seen it.
How could he do that, Dr. Umar? We black folks don't have any power. That's basically what you say. And you have to understand how the NFL is structured. Those teams are like corporations unto themselves. Okay. Like the NFL, even though they have some powers, they don't have power to say, this team must do this team must do that. They really don't have the power to when it comes to a lot of things, okay? Outside of you being a part of the league and just playing, teams could do a lot on their own. That Roger Goodell, who's the owner of the NFL, he really does have a lot of say-so in a lot of things. So for him to sit here and say, oh, well, let me see, well, Dr. Umar really does understand how the NFL works. I think he understands fully how this stuff works. You see him every single time you turn around with a Philadelphia Eagles hat on, okay? He understands how the NFL works. He probably understands how the NFL works more than I do. I have not watched the NFL series since this incident with Colin Kaepernick. When that happened, I was like, I mean, watch Super Bowl. That's it. I tuned out of the NFL. Dr. Umar, on the other hand, supposed to be so pro-black, he got the Eagles hat on every single time you turn around. Oh, I watch again. He fully tuned in. I'm not saying you watch NFL that you are not pro-black, but at the end of the day, at the very least, Dr. Umar understands all of this. But he gonna sit there and say, oh, well, maybe he thought that if he did what he did, that Jay-Z could just somehow acquire a team easily, okay, or make a black person become a majority owner. No, in good way, that's not how the NFL could work, Oh, okay, that's simply not how it works. Roger Goodell's not owning an NFL team to be able to make a decision like that, even if you wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So for that whole argument there is insanity for him to even say that. But for a person that doesn't understand how the NFL is structured, okay, which Dumar knows that his speech is pushed to people of a lower understanding, they'll fly right over their head. Okay.
The game.
Yeah, now for sure.
Majority black owner, because none of them have that. Maybe that still is his play.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's probably the play.
Sometimes
It was a good one. That's not. It was never the play. He's just lying on his teeth. Just lying. Just and intentionally lying.
I have to wait to see a long game. Right. But so far, I haven't seen any game.
Yeah, now for sure. Now, let's talk more about Bad Bunny's performance. So, you're saying that, I want you to button that up. So, you're saying because the way that America is being viewed from a Latino perspective, from a Latin perspective, they did that to kind of sweep some of that under the rug.
Absolutely. That was propaganda.
Wow. I didn't even think about that like that.
Because Latinos are not a large percentage of NFL players. Do you follow me? NFL, just like the NBA.
That's why people were outraged. They're saying that Latinos are not represented in this market. Like, where did this come from? And I think you're saying the political push. I mean, I don't have any evidence to the contrary.
But there are Latino players, though.
Yeah, of course.
They're just not the majority.
Yeah, of course. They're minority.
Here's my thing. America took Texas from Mexico. Puerto Rico is a colony of America. America tested all kinds of dangerous vaccinations and other things on the Puerto Rican women. Remember, the Puerto Rican women were tested with the first birth control pill. Yes! They went sterile and everything with the birth control pill. So when you look at the human rights abuses against the Puerto Rican African family by the United States of America, whether there is a Latino football player or not, just by virtue of the hell that my Latino African brothers and sisters have caught, they had a right to that stage. You feel me?
What about the part where, did you watch?
So let's take it back then. Okay, so they had a right to that stage. But when you go back to Eminem, he said he didn't have a right to it. I think that Eminem has a right to be put in the conversation of being a good rapper, okay, or even one of the greatest, because at the end of the day, rap is rap. And Eminem can rap. I'm not gonna lie, Eminem can rap. He's a very good lyricist, and Eminem is better than most rappers today. Just a fact. Okay, he's a very, very good lyricist.
Did you actually watch the performance?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see the two guys gyrating and kind of on each other? It was.
I saw a still shot. I didn't see it in.
I seen it live.
I saw the still shot.
Hold up. Did he ask him? Did you watch the? Let me go back for a second. Hold on.
Okay. Did you see the two guys gyrating
to that stage? You feel me?
What about the part where did you watch it? Did you actually watch the performance?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So he said he watched the performance. Dr. Umar's not a liar. Okay. If you're not a liar, he asked you, did you watch the performance? Let's hit play.
Did you see the two guys gyrating and kind of on each other? It was.
I saw a still shot. I didn't see it in.
No. You said that you just said that you watched it. Which one is it? But because this podcaster is not, because Loon is not being hard on Umar, he's able to get away without any kind of lie.
I saw the still shot. We do know Bad Bunny is pro-LGB, right?
Right. So why would we ignore that agenda?
We don't have to ignore it.
Okay.
I didn't appreciate that.
Okay.
I didn't appreciate that, right?
Yes.
And I think that now he claims he's not LGB. He just supports.
Right.
But I didn't appreciate that.
Yes.
And I would have rather he had left that out. But I understand he stands on that. And it wasn't excessive, although I wish it wasn't at all.
Yes.
But it wasn't
excessive. Wasn't excessive, you're right. But it was on it was prime time. Like the shot they gave it was nothing else really going on, and it was like focused on.
You just gave me an idea. What did I just say a minute ago? America tested the first birth control pills on the Puerto Rican people. We know that the LGBT agenda was pushed through the shadow government by way of Barack Obama to reduce our population. Is it possible?
Here we go. I make sure you attack another black man. Dr. Umar has always attacked Barack Obama. What has Barack Obama done for us? That's what he always said. Well, what has Bad Bunny done for me? Absolutely nothing. Barack Obama helped me with health care. Nothing against Bad Bunny, but Bad Bunny is I put a dime in my pocket. But Dr. Umar is kissing Bad Bunny's behind right here on this podcast. Okay, let's go back a little bit.
First, birth control pills on the Puerto Rican people. We know that the LGBT agenda was pushed through the shadow government by way of Barack Obama to reduce our population. Is it
So basically, there were no gays or lesbians. Basically, what he's saying, until Barack Obama came, they were just hitting somewhere, walking around scratching their head saying, whoa, boy, golly, gee, golly, I wonder what I should be doing myself. And then Barack Obama became the president. They said, hey, do you have a shadow government? He said, yes, I do. Can you push us through that shadow government? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Absolutely. You ready? You want to start now? Let's wait about a year and a half. Then we'll be ready. We'll love for you to push us through. Oh, no problem. Just give us a little time. As if Barack Obama was the main one and the only one saying, I want to push some LGBT, LG, whatever, you know the letters. Okay. I want you to push that through all through me. Like as if it wasn't them themselves and other people that were doing what they were doing. Okay. And calling for different rights, so on and so forth. Okay, let's go.
Possible that America is trying to swills on the Puerto Rican people.
What I have to say is not Barack Obama, but Dr. Umar, let's get my names mixed up there. Dr. Umar, his job is to tell black people, as all the time say, tell black folks we have no power, there's no way you can win, and that all of our heroes are nobodies outside of him, Dr. Umar. Okay, especially our I'll change it by saying this. Our modern day black heroes. That's who he really has to attack. Okay, Barack Obama, the first black president, has to attack that man. Has to tear him down. He's a nobody because no matter what you think about Barack Obama, him being a president shows that there is upper mobility and it's possible for a black man to rise to such a degree. Okay, to such a level. So, of course, Umar being seen as a secret agent, he has to say, oh, no, he was a nobody. Don't even consider him, black folks. Make sure you keep your eyes looking down at that cotton that you're told that we want you to pick. Don't look up at Obama, okay?
We know that the LGBT agenda was pushed through the shadow government by way of Barack Obama to reduce our population. Is it possible that America is trying to sweet talk the Latino people into another population control campaign? Think about
because
that.
I was wondering who agenda is this? Like who
It's the
agenda?
white man's agenda. Oh, it's the white man's agenda. They want Latin America. The white man has plans for Latin America. Let me give you a little bit more game on this. As someone who speaks in the Caribbean on a regular basis.
And the reason why Dr. Umar is very dangerous is not because he's just outright liar. Dr. Umar is not an outright liar. Though he does tell lies outright many times, but he mixes lies with the truth. Like when he says they have plans for Latin America, so on and so forth, of course America does. Okay, bad plans, especially under the Trump administration, of course they do. Okay, so he's not telling these outright lies. So if a person that's not privy to what he's doing is not paying attention, they can easily be tricked by Dr. Umar because they'll say, "Heck, I was just lie." Dr. Umar is telling the truth. He's telling the truth because he has truth and love in his heart. No, he doesn't. He knows that for you to tell a convincing lie, you have to mix the truth with it. The devil has to always mix the truth. Remember what in the Bible, Adam and Eve, what did he tell Eve? He said, he said, why don't you eat it? Why are you not eating of this fruit, Eve, that God said don't eat? And then she said, well, because God said we eat any fruit except for this one, the day we eat it, we will surely die. And then the devil said, you will not surely die, for in the day you eat it, you will be like God, knowing good and evil, which was a half truth. It was true and it was a lie. Okay. He mixed them together. Okay. He mixes the truth and the lie together and weaves it together in such a way that you can't tell the difference. You think about something like a weed. It's hard to see weeds sometimes because they coil around real plants in such a way so you can't tell the difference. And that's how they end up surviving and then destroying what you have. All right. Dr. Umar has a serpent's tongue. All right. It's the exact same thing. He'll say, look, I'm bringing you the truth. And most people, okay, in any country, when they see somebody telling a truth, they think, well, they're good. They're trying to help me out. So when I come on and someone comes on and says this man is a scammer, we look bad. We seem like we're just hating on the guy. And I put out 4 or 5 videos about the man. You'll say, oh, you just trying to make a quick buck for Dr. Umar. No, I'm not. Look at my view counts. Look at my subscriber base. And I put hours in these videos. All right. And I barely make any money. If at all, I may go through months, not make any money from YouTube at all. Because there's actually a YouTube threshold you have to actually hit. You have to make a certain amount of money just to get paid from YouTube. If you don't hit that threshold within a month, they won't even pay you anything at all. A lot of people don't even know that. Okay. So it's been plenty of times I haven't made nothing. And I'm making videos, making videos. Okay. Being factual here. Or I'm not one of these big wigs, but I'll give you my heart and my soul in these videos to tell you the truth. And if you one person will watch this, they would see that what I'm telling you is the truth, and you would stop supporting this man because he's still being supported. I guarantee you that. Me and you may know not to support him, but there are a lot of people that still support this man.
We do know the white man is trying to colonize black Caribbean islands. They're going in there buying up the properties. They're going in there stealing the properties because white people are tired of living north of the equator. They want to live close to the equator or south of it. They're tired of the cold.
Right.
They want the warm.
Right. Yes.
And so they're trying to bait Africans to move to Europe and take their place. Same thing they're doing with us with the suburbs, right? Come move out here, and they come right back into the heart of Nashville.
Yes.
They come right back into the heart of Knoxville.
Yes.
They come right back into the heart of Chattanooga, right? Let's get these silly Negroes, since they love being around us so much, let's entice them out.
Yeah.
And we're going to take
And that's prime real estate.
That's what they're doing in the Caribbean. So guess what's next to the Caribbean? Central.
Sounds right, but that's not true. Is it true that white people want to, that many white people want to come back into the cities? Yes. We see it happening, but that's not a plan that even makes any sense. To say, let's make them be so friendly with us, or let's watch as they are so friendly with us, trying to be like us, that we could just draw them out to the suburbs. No. If they want to take, and you know what they do? They start fires and say that this area burned down. We need to rebuild here. That's what many of them do. And I've seen them with my own eyes. They'll say, you know what? We need to take y'all in. You know what they do? They go to City Hall and they gerrymander, okay? And they raise taxes to kick black folks out. They've been doing that stuff for many, many years at Philadelphia and New York and many cities all across the nation. That's what they continue to do. It's a plan that has worked. They don't say, hey, can y'all please maybe leave? And, you know, we rather y'all not live here. Isn't the suburbs nice? We know that the suburbs it costs more to live there, you know, and we know you guys can't afford that. But why don't you just go over there? Okay, well, let's just leave the projects and just go to the suburbs. Thanks, we never thought of that before. No problem. This is not insidious at all. We just wanted to help you guys out. That's literally what this man is saying.
America and then South America. So is it possible that the white man next colonization act will be Central and South America?
Also, as it pertains to Bad Bunny and his performance, I don't know if you're aware of this, but multiple House Republicans push for probes into the NFL, NBC, and even FCC
regarding
over Bad Bunny's halftime show, calling the content illegal and objecting.
Illegal how?
Provocative material and the show being mostly in Spanish.
No, because America did not have an official language until Donald Trump's executive order. I don't think they win that.
Right.
I don't think they win that. And America constantly propagates this concept that this is a land of...
Yeah, but if I'm not mistaken, even if you're going to go on that, wasn't his executive order before Bad Bunny performed? So even if you go by that, they still would have ground. What are you talking about?
Immigrants.
Yes.
How can you deny them? Think about it. You don't even have to speak English to get services in this country. If I have to evaluate a child who speaks Spanish,
they'll get a translator. Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? So
yeah.
America has catered to the Spanish speaker for the past 50 years or so. Now we're not going to cater to the Spanish speaker? I don't think they win that fight.
You know, they also had Kid Rock and others do their own kind of halftime show
that to take away from it. But it didn't work much. Kid Rock still got about 6 million views, but that was nothing compared to Bad Bunny. They said his viewership may have been the most in history or something like that.
Yeah, Complex reported the wrong numbers. We were on the email chain yesterday where they said that they had to retract that. I think he's number 5. Kendrick Steele beat him out.
Okay.
And I think Mike is 2. So I think it goes Kendrick, Mike, Rihanna. He's somewhere along that list.
I got you.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, as I said, I felt embarrassed because I've never seen a black artist put black culture and history on a stage as big as that, as unapologetically as Bad Bunny did it.
What did you want Kendrick Lamar to do? Did you want him to strip himself naked and have Samuel Jackson whip him with a whip? I mean, what more could he have done? I think he really would have wanted to have. He would have rather had Samuel Jackson throw cotton down on the ground and had Kendrick Lamar pick that cotton, all right, completely naked, and then maybe then that would have been pleased. I don't know more the guy could have done. I'm not a Kendrick Lamar fan at all, okay? But some of you guys maybe I'm not a fan of him or like a lot of that type of music, all right? But when I saw what he was doing, I could understand what he was talking about. I could understand what he was doing. I do understand rap. I used to listen to rap, and I actually am a Christian rapper myself. Though I haven't done it in years, but I know how to rap too. So I understand everything he was saying easily. So I'm sitting there looking at this like, okay, I understand. And so for Dr. Umar to say that, I'm not even the person that listens to secular rap, for you to say that and be like, well, it sounded like, right here, it actually sounded like Dr. Umar wanted to say, when he said Bad Bunny was on 5, it sounded like he wanted to say, yeah, well, in my eyes, I think he was number 1. Like, it was almost like he was like, but his mind said, don't say it, Dr. Umar. Don't say that. He's like, okay, I'll say something else. I'm going to say something else.
Direct his people in a way we seldom do.
You are watching Dr. Umar Johnson on It's Up There podcast.
Well, so that was actually the whole interview. I think the rest of it you can watch on, I think, their special, their website. All right. But yeah, that was definitely insightful. All right. Dr. Umar in his interview has basically pushed down Kendrick Lamar, attacked Barack Obama, attacked black folks also. All right. While pushing up Puerto Ricans. Not against Puerto Rican people. I actually think that Puerto Rican people actually are part black. All right. But at the end of the day, that's not how society sees them. You know, seeing this part, but I'm talking about just when you go down. And I have Puerto Rican friends. You have my movie that I'm putting out this year, and that you see if you go on my brother Winston main page and look at my homepage on YouTube, you can see that I have a movie coming out called The Golden Dragonfly, and the main star in it is a Puerto Rican. All right, one of my best friends. Okay, so I'm not at all anti any other race. All right, but I just think it's interested in this man come on here and and do what he does and say what he says, and it's like, hey, you know, I'm here to attack black folks at the end of the day. I'm not here. That's the agenda, you know. And I want to end by saying this. I want you guys to think about what I said in this video. In the movie, The Judas and the Black Messiah, all right, there was a man, and that's of course based on a true story. There was a man who was plugged in by the USA to tear down, to inform, number one, and to basically lead to the death of this man who was a great leader. All right. And that man did that. That man who was basically a super spy snitch, he caused this man to be shot up and die. And the United States not paid for that man's death. They had like it was just a nothing burger. Like, oh, he just died. Oh, well. And they went in there and literally shot this man to death. All right. There's a guy in Philadelphia. You may have heard of him, may not have heard of him. This guy's name is, he also was affiliated with the Black Panthers. His name was Mumia Abu Jamal. Okay. Mumia Abu Jamal was a guy, he was, I think he was a radio host. All right. Years ago in Philadelphia. And there was a cop. You don't know about this guy. His name is pretty famous in the city. All right. And he was a radio host and did different things. He was known in the city. Black guy, long dress. And because he was affiliated with the Panthers, there was an incident that happened where there's a guy who he knew, and I think it was Mumia Abu Jamal's brother. They were out somewhere, and this guy who Mumia and them knew, he ended up getting in an altercation with a cop on the street, white cop. And the white cop ended up being killed. The white cop was actually, I think he was beating the guy, and the guy really actually had a reason to shoot this cop, okay? And he shot the cop, and the cop died. Okay? It was like he just saw the cop and shot him. It was something that the cop was doing to him, okay? And he ended up shooting the cop ended up dying, all right? So what happened was, Philadelphia being an extremely, in my opinion, racist city as always has been, all right, they ended up pinning the death of this cop on Mumia Abu Jamal, even though he had nothing to do with it. And he wasn't even, he was, though he was in the area, it was like after the fact, all right. They cannot prove that Mumia pulled the trigger, none of that kind of stuff. They just set him up, and one of the judges said something like, "I'm gonna see you fry." All right, about Mumia. All right, he was literally caught saying, basically, I'm gonna see you fry. I'm gonna kill you. But by the grace of God, they have not been able, and they put him on death row. But by the grace of God, they have not been able to take Mumia Abu Jamal's life. Okay, and he still is alive. All right, but he shouldn't have never done a day in prison because the man was innocent. On top of the fact, the guy who actually killed the cop, he was found like a week later in the trunk of his car dead. Because the cops knew that he was the one that actually shot the cop, and they murdered him. Then they said, "Oh, well, you did it." But wonder why that guy would decide to kill himself and throw himself in the back of his own car a week later, because he was the one that actually did. That's why. All right, I'm not saying that he didn't have a reason. He was acting in self-defense. All right, but and these type of people, the people that Dr. Umar, in my opinion, are employed by, and you can tell because of the way that he acts the same, like the way he acts towards black folks. It's not like, oh, I don't like Obama, but I like other folks. No, Whenever there's a black person that's prominent doing something right, he always takes a position against that. Whenever there's something that could be helpful for us, okay, that's truly helpful, all right, Dr. Umar always has to take a stance against it. It's just the truth. You follow me, you will always see that. You may say, well, no, he loves black queens. He loves black queens because he wants to sleep with black queens. That's why, without any kind of strings attached. Just go in, get in, and get out. Okay, hit it and quit. That's what he wants to do. All right, and everything else is just him trying to charge you to get paid. That's his stick. Is sleep with these black queens and get paid. Make sure you give to the Cash App. And black queens, I'm available. And that's what he does. All right, y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Thanks for watching. It's your boy, Brother Winston. Back at it. And God bless. Peace.